Right. This is one of many videos I've been meaning to do, but haven't gotten around to until now, whatever now is. Because I've been doing, fill in the blank. That's infinitely more important than YouTube, especially when it comes to eating, sleeping, overtime at work, video games, and studying for another certification. I figured I'd try again since I have a little free time, and I decided to look at what I have that's behind the back burner. Anyway, not all my planned videos are about Kevin Samuels or specifically the points he brings up. In fact, out of all of them, this is the only one on him. Actually, this and another one, but another one that's coming up. I'm not sure if I'm going to do individual people, or if I'm just going to put them all in one. All four people I was going to get on, and just output it all as one. I might do that because it's a bit more efficient. This won't be a dissecting video as I normally do them. You all know how I normally do them, even though it's in the same format. Fact is, I actually agree with most of what Kevin Samuels says, more or less. More or less. And again, from the time that I thought this video up to the time when I'm actually making it, I've been noticing a lot of things that's making me agree less and less, far less and less. But, there are still some things which he himself has admitted that, hey, I'm not the first one to say this, so it's not like, oh, he was the first one, Anyway. Yeah. There have been some things that I've noticed that makes me think he's going down or has gone down, and this is actually being confirmed again from the time that I thought this video up till now. Down the road of being one of these black red pill, quote unquote black red pill men, if you know what I mean. Despite this, I'm going to throw him a bone in the form of showing him where he should refine his defense, so as to not get hit the way I'm about to. For anyone wondering, or will wonder, no, it's not lost on me that no female, have to say that, make that distinction in today's day and age. By female, I mean human, naturally born with a vagina, alright? Okay. Was able to do this, what I'm about to do. Maybe none could, or the ones that could simply couldn't care less and doesn't see this side of YouTube. In any case, well, let's begin. Oh, and one other thing, fair use, not playing that game, fair use, everybody uses clips of other people's stuff, fair use, alright, so, yeah, let's not play that stupid ass game, alright, let's go.
All right, let's see if we can get Jennifer on her bootleg wireless. Hey, your shit's bootleg. Come on, unmute.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So
no, don't just jump in and start talking. Hi.
Hello.
How old are you?
I am 28.
Oh my. So you need to be still. So what do you have on the topic? Can modern women survive without men?
Okay. Yes. Going back to your original question, you asked if women need men to survive. Personally, I don't. However, I agree with you with everything you said in the past 2 episodes. Here's why.
Before you, I gotta ask a question. I gotta question this. You don't need men to survive? That's what you said. Personally, I don't.
Personally.
Ma'am, I call BS. Can you what state do you live in?
I'm New York.
Right. Have you ever planted food? Have you ever planted anything? Have you ever planted anything? Have you
No.
ever? Okay, how would you eat?
Oh, grocery store.
No, ma'am. See, the grocery store
Yeah.
is built by men.
Yes.
It's stocked by men.
Built by men? Probably. Stocked by men? Not a guarantee. Not even in overnight stocking. Feel free to go to any 24-hour Walmart to see irrefutable proof of that. In addition, most anyone that grew up on a farm, male or female, knows how to plant some crops. Then there's the fact that one could ask most men, not in a third or maybe even second world country, the same question, and they would more than likely have to say no if they're to be truthful. However, men aren't going around saying they don't need men, so fine.
Yes, I agree.
No,
Here's why.
but no. We're not going down. No. I am going to make you ladies slow down and think about what you're saying. When you come in and saying, personally, I don't need a man, and the first thing I ask you about is you live in New York, I know damn well you ain't never seen no parts of the country, no parts of a field, no parts of an animal. Your food comes from the grocery store. Your food comes from the market. It's trucked into New York City.
Okay, so when you said I need a man, I thought meant to like sexually, in terms of a romantic.
It says for
relationship.
survival. Can
For
women
survival?
survive
Yes, I
without
do mean
men?
For survival.
Yes,
For
that's
survival,
all.
I concur.
That's all I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. Survive. See,
Okay, so
you guys will probably have more respect for men if you start understanding that we are the reason you're here in the first place. Without us, you're dead.
I agree. Here's why. So I'm a logistician in the military. I go to a school that's 90% males because that's the field they all go to on supply chain management.
9 or
So-
90. 9 or 90.
90% of the school I go to, males.
Okay.
So, but I'm also a teacher. 75% females in my class. So I disagree with the female, the rugged female. Personally, I'm very rugged. I play rugby. I'm in the military.
You
right?
disagree? Okay, but stop. Okay, you disagree with what is it you're disagreeing with? Because
That female, that you rugged Karen.
okay.
I didn't like where she was coming from because within the supply chain management, right? There's a difference between being effective and being efficient. So
Yes.
her argument was more so based on efficiency, saying, yes, women can do it. I agree. However, your response was more on the effective side. Yes,
Yeah.
women are able to do it. However, men can do it in half the time and with half the power, and they do twice as much. So
Yes.
that's the difference between efficiency and being and effectiveness.
In what? The only place something like this applies with seemingly any flagrant pronunciation is with manual labor. Because capitalism be economics, one has to ask, is it cheaper to pay women, say, 50% less for, again, say, 25% less effectiveness? Of course, those percentages were pulled out of my ass simply as an example. My point is there are more factors to consider than the two that were just output. Then, if you're to be completely honest, you'll have to factor in how machines are rendering the efficiency and or effectiveness of men or women null and void.
From a supply chain perspective. So, but ACFT, I just want to hit on that. I failed my ACFT
Okay.
and I played rugby. I'm in the military. However,
That's the fitness. That's the readiness test.
yes, I failed it. When I was at the top, the test prior, I scored a 298 out of a 300. I was faster than half of these males. I have more scars on one leg than most men do in their entire bodies. However, I've had a lot of injuries playing rugby, so I cannot lift, and it's the same thing you talked about. I can't lift my own body weight.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's no equity in that.
Never could understand this being able to lift your own body weight as some metric of anything. So far, none of the people I see lifting their own body weight in things like pull-ups, dips, and all that are more than low 200 pounds at best. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was at 5% body fat, much less the 350 I am right now. And as of this recording, I'm actually 370, even though, again, I still look like I am at most high 200s. Whatever. Now, as far as with a barbell, I can rep my own body weight in everything, in every lift in Strong Lift 5x5 except overhead press. For anybody who doesn't believe me about the limits of lifting your own body weight, name one gymnast, Olympic level or not, that's 250 pounds or more. Yeah.
What do you mean?
For example, my sergeant, 250-pound man, 6 feet. I have to lift more than he does. I have to do more than he does because I'm a lieutenant. So I don't see how he has to do less than I have to do simply because I'm in
Okay.
I don't see how that logically follows. Either it's done as a percentage of body weight, and I could get in on how that dynamic of measurement makes no sense, or it's a set amount that one has to lift depending on whatever level you're at. I'm guessing the captain has to lift the least, and I don't know, a 5-star general doesn't have to lift anything.
So let's get to practicality. You may be a tough competitor on the battlefield where there's not a lot of lifting necessary. Do we want a front line full of women? A front line full of men?
Men. I don't, and that's the reason why I didn't go into combat.
Even you didn't catch that one, Kevin Samuels. I caught that one instantly. Fact of the matter is, in today's modern warfare, quote unquote, there's not that much keeping up, quote unquote, that needs to be done. You ride in an armored vehicle to your destination, or a tank, or whatever, I don't know. To your destination, clean house, if you're a Marine, that the Army and Air Force done blew up and pieced out on. And it's not like you're sprinting the entire time. You travel in packs. Or, I don't know, whatever the hell they're called, battalions, groups, and regiments, whatever, I don't know, whatever, packs. Considering you can't move too fast without clearing an area, or you and crew end up in a trap, at best, and dead at worst. You have to clear area by area in pieces, and that's not going to happen so fast that all who pass the test in either basic training or, I'm guessing this exists, continued training, won't be able to what? Keep up. I've never had any dealing with the military of any country on this planet besides the U.S. military trying to recruit me back in high school. And even then, and even I know this, right? Even then, and now, writing this, I know this, right? Just by thinking about it, as I type this out here at Panera Bread, as I sip an iced green tea with no ice. Anyway, I also know I'm right. Even before any actual military person sees this video and confirms it. Why? It's simple logic. It's the only thing that makes logical sense. The reason why she didn't go into combat is the same reason why most women don't. The same reason some, if not most, if not all women have a problem being forced to sign up for frontline selective service, yet say nothing when men are forced to at the threat of jail time, much less other punishments. It's the same reason when they tried to force women, by law, to sign up for selective service in the, 70s or 80s or something like that. One woman in Congress, or the House, or whatever, or wherever, somewhere like that, single-handedly, I believe her name was Margaret Sanger or Thatcher? No, Thatcher's British, right? I think it's Margaret something. Single-handedly managed to shoot it down, saying that, and I'm paraphrasing, forcing women to the front lines via selective service will do nothing to advance the equality of women in society. Forgot the woman's name again. It's Margaret something, Sanger, Thatcher, some Margaret, something with Margaret in it. I forgot the woman's name. I think it was Margaret Thatcher or Margaret Sanger or something like I just said. The reason she didn't go into combat is because she, like all women, don't want to come home maimed for life or in a body bag. I suppose men do, and that's why they are forced to. If there wasn't enough voluntary cannon fodder now.
I understood my limitations. I understood that I wouldn't be able to keep up with a man that's 6 feet. Yes, I play rugby. I'm this Brit girl, however, female. However, I cannot lift the same amount as a man that's 6 feet and 200 pounds. I'm only 5'3".
Right. So actually, I just decided to add this part in while I'm editing this video and playing it back. What she just said right here. That right there is the reason, or one of many reasons, but the reason why this whole thing of pound for pound or by body weight or any of that crap is just that crap. It's foolishness. This is the reason why. Yeah, she's also tough in rugby this and rugby that, but she can't lift as much as 6. Okay, well, if I was to do it, if I was to come with the same logic that so many of these people come with, well, I can lift more than you as a percentage of body weight. Okay, and that doesn't mean fuck all when it comes to real world where X amount needs to be lifted, and it doesn't matter if you're the world's strongest person as a percentage of body weight. If you cannot lift X amount, you're useless. This is why raw numbers and absolute values are all that matters, not X times more likely or per capita or by percentage. Anytime I hear somebody talk about how the ant is the strongest animal or creature on the planet because it can lift however many times its body weight, I laugh at them. That is a person that is an absolute imbecile. Absolute fucking imbecile. If the ant had to lift the same amount, and any physicist should be able to should back me up on this, with the same kind of leverages that an elephant needs to lift something, the same kind of levers, that ant wouldn't be able to lift it. Take it from somebody who lifts heavy ass weight in the gym and knows all about that crap. People are so amazed at how I'm able to go so low with the squats, still having perfect form, 500 pounds on my back. Somebody that's 6'7" really isn't usually lifting that much, going that deep and all that stuff. Very acutely aware of levers, of leverages and stuff like that. People think it's a 1-to-1, 1-to-1. Okay, 3-3-3 translates to 6-6-6, translates to 9-9-9. No, it's not linear. If you want just a clear mathematical representation of what I'm talking about, horizontal asymptote. Don't know what that is? Look it up. Diminishing returns. Yes, an ant can lift oh so much, an elephant can't lift so much, but weight for body weight and all that crap. If the ant had to lift the same amount as an elephant, or had to lift it to the same height, it wouldn't work. And for anybody who still doesn't get it, I will try to dumb it down as much as I can. Go take a breaker bar. How is a breaker bar effective? The longer the breaker bar is, the more weight you can lift, right? The more force you can put on like a nut that you want to get off. Yeah, that same dynamic applies to elephants, ants, and my big 6'7", 371 pound ass. Yeah, I can lift that shit, but you know what? The distance I have to travel because of the lever mechanics of my legs means that if I was 5 foot and 100 pound, I would be able and still have the same weight, same muscle and all that stuff. I would be able to lift a hell of a lot more than the person that is 5 foot 100 pounds. They can lift 200, and everybody's like, well, per body weight, they can lift more than you, so they're actually stronger than you. So yeah. If that 5 foot 100 pound person was the same height as me and the same muscle mass and all that stuff that they have, but just my height, they wouldn't be able to lift it. They wouldn't be able to lift what they're lifting. This is why I laugh when people keep coming with, I can lift this much per body weight. Well, per body weight, they can lift. No. And here it is, you have her saying it right now, effectively, although not literally. Yeah, she can lift all this much, but she can't lift X amount, and that's what needs to be lifted. Therefore, she didn't do it, even though she might be stronger than all those guys per body weight. People really need to get off this whole body weight, percentage body weight crap. I don't know where that came from or why it's here, but it's very stupid. Very fucking stupid. And remember, if the ant had to lift what it's lifting, the same distance that the elephant has to lift it, that ant would die. He would literally be crushed. All right, moving right along.
Well, why is that test there in the first place?
The why they changed it?
No, why was the test that you failed there in the first place?
Because they're trying to create a more dynamic test that demonstrates your different abilities.
Okay, no. I don't mean, I'm talking about before the military was integrated with women, men didn't complain about a standard. You either did or didn't. The test had a reason for being there. Why was it there? It made for a stronger soldier.
But here's the thing.
Okay, but before you move on, we got to acknowledge that.
I agree. Yes,
all right. Because on the battlefield, you need to have upper body strength as well as lower body strength. You need endurance, stamina, or else you make yourself and other people vulnerable.
But I think that's very narrow. So the military.
Then why is Captain America?
That's combat related, right? However,
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. Hold on. No, don't over talk me.
Okay.
Because this is combat. You're in the military. True or false?
Yes.
You should be able to. Well, you're not trained to kill people and break things. In basic training, that's what it is. Kill people and break stuff.
Yes.
Kill people and break stuff. Then you mean to tell me we killed you? We taught you how to kill people and break stuff, and then we need you sitting someplace where we can't use you to kill people and break stuff. So
yes.
No, because if we all of a sudden had to go to war, you should have to go out there because you have the training. And if you're saying, well, I can't get out there and do the training, can't go kill people and break stuff because I've been sitting back here, then give us back our money.
No, here's why.
Exactly.
I got offered combat-related job, like the one you're describing, 3 times. 3 times I turned it down because I knew I was capable of it. I knew my limitations. There's an argument that can be made. You want the benefits that come along with being in the military, but you don't want to do everything that comes along with being in the military. You don't want to do the combat part of it. Huh? I'm an officer, remember.
But I don't care if you're an officer. If you should still, okay, you're in the military. I'm a civilian. I expect you to go die before me. That's what we pay for. I don't expect you to go take the benefits and then be like, oh, I don't want to go to the war.
Everyone goes through basic in the military. Not everyone goes to the front lines. Not everyone is drop kicking doors and Metal Gear Soliding it up. The IT people running the computers have to go through basic as well, from what I heard from a retired ranger. So if some enemy managed to get in the camp, they can grab a gun and shoot. No one in their right or wrong mind is going to expect tech support to go fight and win, the same way some elite team would.
That's why, see, when I was a young guy, there was still selective service. And there's a reason I didn't go to the ROTC and get money and go into college and drive the Jetta and everything else when everybody else was going to school. And I saw so many men complaining about the Desert Storm, going to war. And I'm like, well, you took the money, now you do the war. You're getting the benefit. And all I'm saying is you're supposed to be in the army that's supposed to defend the country. And when you get called up, you should be able to do the job that you're being paid for.
Right. So there still is selective service as far as I know. God knows that's not something I'm going to go check on. There sure as hell was when I turned 18 in 2005. If you don't sign up as a male, you don't get student aid, which, looking back on it, as well as looking at the current societal landscape now, probably is not the worst thing. In fact, it's probably a blessing. You can't vote, and a bunch of other shit. Worst of all, you face prison time. That and see, even the men were complaining about going to get killed for what? And you know what? To pause that, the very interesting thing, I'm watching something on Netflix right now. What is it called? What is it called? Bear with me on this. What is it called? It's something on 9/11. Oh no, that's bear with me on this. It's something on 9/11. What's the name of it? It should come up soon. Bear with me, I just thought of this now. Turning Point, 9/11 and the War on Terror. I'm actually watching that now. And just from the, I guess the trailer or the preview, I saw this one clip where this soldier was walking and he's like, man, nobody even talks about 9/11 anymore. And I mean, like, isn't that the whole reason why we're over here? You know? So, to bring it back to this, even the men were complaining about going to get killed for what? I can make a whole other video about that whole 9/11 thing right now and all what's going on with... Anyway. Depending on who you ask... What's up, Peter Joseph? The USA hasn't been under threat of being taken over by an external force since the Revolutionary War. This is why I personally don't do the military, because the fact is, Ahmadinejad, Hussein, Gaddafi, Castro, Chavez, Jong-il, Bin Laden, none of them did anything to me. Not one. Anyone that has a problem with them can go fight them one-on-one in a room. When I have a problem with someone, I don't have a bunch of people I can call on to come slap them for me, even though I pay taxes like the next and previous man. This isn't even the biggest reason I don't do the military, it's just the most relevant to this video.
Which is the first job, security. Logistics is fine, but eventually, if we had enough people die on the battlefield, they'd have to call you up before they start the draft. Yes or no?
Yes.
Exactly.
Kevin, I agree.
All right.
However,
Let me get on to...
you would not be able to survive without me, Kevin. You will
Yeah,
not.
I would. I'm going to show you right now.
No,
You out of your
no,
goddamn
here's
mind.
Here's
You're
why. Wait.
you out of your damn mind. I can survive without you. Me can survive without you. I don't know why you ladies think that y'all are that damn special when you can't even lift your own body weight. Yes, the job you can do, men trained you how to do it. You may be a tough woman, but you're still female. What are we talking about here? This is the same woman who made the argument to say, no, we can't. Logistics and such and so forth, but I can't survive without you. Outside of your French toast mind.
Not sure how that logically followed or why her being female had anything to do with it. First, most people in America, at least, can't lift their own body weight, and that's male or female. With training, many people, male or female, could lift their own body weight. Enter CrossFit, especially anyone that competes in those CrossFit games. Third, as far as teaching, anyone can teach anything and anyone can be taught anything, provided minimum brain function is there. She may very well have been taught by a man who may have been taught by a woman. Perhaps she, having been taught by a man, goes on to teach another man. The question is, what is the minimum needed to do X thing? Case in point, and follow along with me on this example. Men are at level 10. What level? Just follow along with it. Men are at level 10. Women are at level 7. Yet level 5 is the minimum needed to do X thing, clearing level 5. Whatever that X thing may be, building a car, running through bullets, I don't know, getting X-Men superpowers, whatever that X thing is, you need to be at level 5 of whatever, skill level or intelligence or power or speed or whatever. Women are at 7, men are at 10, the minimum needed is 5. Therefore, it doesn't really matter if it's male or female. Right. Factor that in today's modern warfare, troops aren't exactly engaging in MMA-style fights on the field of battle, even if ammo runs out. How much strength does it take to shoot a gun? Every documentary and real-world footage I see of U.S. combatants doesn't have them carrying a metric ton on their backs while fighting. Yeah, they might carry it on their backs not while they're in the middle of a firefight, right? So yeah, no, they do not have a metric ton of stuff on their backs while they're fighting, as though they're backpacking through Europe, right? I don't care if you're a man or not. You have someone shooting at you and you need to dodge bullets Matrix style. That's not going to work if you're, say, a 350-pound man and you're getting weighed down by your body weight in whatever the hell is on your back. And for anyone that wants to argue that, go to any gym, put your body weight in a barbell, then run and jump and roll with that shit. And see how fast you can slip a disc at best. This is coming from someone that could, and still can, full range of motion squat 500 pounds for one set of 5 reps. No wraps, no spotter, chalk, belt, or anything else. And I have a YouTube video up to prove it, so I'm not arguing. Actually, you know what? That video is not of me doing one set of 5. It's of me doing 1, I think, just to show that I could do it. But anyone doesn't believe me, there is, at least as of this recording and of this scripting, a Gold's Gym in Gaithersburg, Maryland, near Clapper Road. Walk in there, ask about me. Everybody in there knows who I am, so there's that. Everyone in the weight section, they know who I am, so yeah. Right. So I've been able to do that only to get fucked up because I didn't properly re-rack 135 pounds after warm-up due to me losing focus. And that was for 5 weeks of the pulled back muscles. Muscles, plural. So yeah, squat 500 pounds, no problem. Fucked myself up on 135 pounds. And if anybody knows anything about lifting weights, especially the barbells, 135 pounds is just a bar with 2 plates, 2 45s on each side, whereas 500 pounds is the bar with, 5 plates, 45 plates on each side, and a 2.5 plate on each side. So, yeah, there you go. Right.
Unmute yourself. Why do I need you? Why can't I survive without you?
Okay, so let's say you're infantry, right, Kevin? You're out there, you're hauling ass. However, your water resupply, food, transportation. I'm in charge of all the logistics related activities. So you can't trek 50 miles. You need me.
I know what army travels on its food.
Let's say
water.
we're
No, let me stop you. Let me stop you. You're in charge of it. But if you get shot, someone else is in charge of it. True or false? If you died, if a canister fell on your head, if you had a heart attack, someone else would step up to do your job. True or false?
False.
No? So you mean to tell me you have the only job in the military that if you don't do it, everybody else, you mean we have a single point of failure in our logistics chain? I don't buy that.
In the officer.
No, ma'am. Listen to what I asked you. You said I'm in charge of XYZ.
Yes.
All right. And if you are not doing XYZ, the task doesn't get done. True or false?
Yes. Here's why.
No. True or false? Does the task get done? Yes. The task gets done? No.
If I provide the proper guidance, it will be completed.
If you died of a heart attack, would the task fall to someone else or would the task not get completed?
It will be pushed on to the next ranking.
So we don't need you.
Show one area in the military, or anywhere else for that matter, where that isn't the case. That can be said of anyone in any position. If the President of the United States dies, is that it? If a general dies, that's the end of his troops he commanded? I dare anyone to name one job on planet Earth where if the current person that does it punches out, that's the end of that job. And all jobs dependent on that job. Right. Then there's the fact that so many things keep running, and quite smoothly, without a quote-unquote leader. Case in point, federal government shutdowns. The longest government shutdown in USA history, and most Americans didn't notice it because their day-to-day life kept running just fine, from jobs to bills. Now, the more technical thing that I think Miss Officer over here that you're battling, Kevin Samuels, was trying to say is, if I die, chances are all of you die, because this was a mission critical thing that was timed, and even if I get physically replaced, it's too late for all the people that depended on me before I died. If the IT department of the military base gets bombed by the enemy, killing all the Edward Snowden geeks, all those hard drives, CPUs, and SATA cables can be replaced. Let's not talk about the data, because if the military is as inefficient as the rest of the government, chances are, if they did have backups, those backups were in the same room that went up in flames as well. Anyway, how many lives would get lost if the time-sensitive, mission-critical stuff didn't get there, even though the IT department is back up and running 24 hours later? I think that's what she was trying to say. Maybe. The fact that an engine and transmission can be replaced if it fails doesn't mean F all if the failing of said engine and trans happens at 100 miles per hour down the highway or on the Autobahn. Right? Yeah, the engine and transmission can be replaced, but you needed this particular engine and this transmission during this situation to not fail, and it did, and it caused problems, and it ended up killing somebody, right? But it can be replaced, though, which isn't the point.
You just made a scenario that if you didn't do something, then I couldn't get something. And I just told you, if you died, somebody else would pick it up. We don't have a single point of failure like that. Don't wave your finger and shit at me. You can do that to your troops. Oh, you want to do that with me? Oh, okay. You want to keep it up? Or we going to have a conversation? Unmute yourself. Stop being silly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But it's like, could a CEO be replaced
Ma'am.
if he died of a heart attack?
Yeah, of course.
There's a
But
hierarchy.
Of course.
Yes,
But the example you gave is, if you needed water and such and so forth, you couldn't survive if I didn't do my job. And the implication was that you're the only one that can do that job. And I said, no, you're doing the job right now. But if you die, somebody else will do the job. We'd still get water. We don't have a single point of failure in the military.
You will have to bring in another lieutenant.
So what?
And the lieutenant.
So what? So what? It would still happen, because if not, ma'am, that means all an enemy would have to do would be to kill you, and it can ruin an entire battalion. Makes no sense.
On a macro scale, that's literally how destabilization works. KO one pillar of support and the enemy weakens. Knock them all out before said enemy can replace them, and the entire enemy either dies or is rendered null and void. You can do this with people, places, things, animals, anything.
But I would never be out on a patrol. That
Ma'am,
would be
it doesn't matter. I said a heart attack. I kept you awake. See, ma'am, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make a scenario to where we need you, and we don't. You may do a valuable job, ma'am, but other people are trained to do the job just fine. See, I know enough about the military to know that even the people who specialize, if you drop your gun, the medics are even trained how to use rifles. True or false?
Right.
But they don't. But do they necessarily carry them? No, but they know how. Someone's trained how to do your job, ma'am. This is a silly argument.
Yes, it is, and quite intellectually dishonest. You just disproved your own stance with what you just said. I'm willing to bet whoever is currently in Miss Officer's former position is a man. Is male. Everything you said to Miss Officer here could be said and correctly applied to him as well. Male or female is irrelevant. This is a quote-unquote tactic that my sister used to try on me whenever I argued gender dynamics with her, or really just anything, honestly, that she was losing the argument on. She would switch back and forth between men and women as a whole to me specifically. Then, when I told her to pick one and then counter her on the one she picked, she would try to drown me out, storm off, talk over me, or hang up on the phone, or some other desperation tactic. Here it is, I thought that was something only women did, as she wasn't the only woman to try that on me.
We don't need you. You may be G.I. Jane, you may be tough, everything else, but at the end of the day, female, male.
Which means nothing, especially as time goes on, and not only do machines start to do the dangerous jobs humans used to do, drones and robots anyway, but as the USA finally wakes up and realizes that the day and age of guns and bombs are over, and a 10-year-old kid from China, Russia, the Middle East, Asia, or anywhere else can digitally walk past the entire military and KO the US via cyber attack, or attacks plural, on most if not all social infrastructure points, how much upper body strength is really needed for cybersecurity? To be a red, black, gray, or any other color hat hacker? I'll give you a hint. The average IT professional isn't me. Okay? The average IT professional is not exactly benching 350 for reps, is not squatting 500, not deadlifting 600, not bent rowing, again, 350 for reps, isn't overhead pressing 200 for reps, They're not. Sorry. All this man strength isn't needed. Don't care if they are using Cherry MX mechanical keyboards, right? It's not needed. Okay. I've noticed these call-in shows are all the same, no matter who you watch, except for Sam Cedar, and I haven't watched him in a while. With him, he will actually, with Sam Cedar, the last time I last time I saw him, again, I haven't seen him in a while. With him, he would actually let you talk and say what you want, and then counter that, leading you to come back to his point. Not try to pressure you to say what he wants you to, or to mute or hang up or talk over, interrupt, or anything else. This is why I would never call again call into any show. If we aren't debating on absolutely neutral ground, then we can post videos back and forth, old school YouTube style.
Without logistics, you die without food. You die without water.
But you don't make the food or you make the water. You just give the orders and process the paper.
No, I get it from.
All right, there we go. She's single as hell.
It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah.
Simple fact of the matter is, this isn't 10,000 BC. Machines are doing most of the work. Take away the machines, and few, if any, men could really do work like men did back in 0 AD. Truth be told, it wouldn't surprise me if women back in the 1600s were physically stronger than all the men living in 2021, short of actual strongmen and some bodybuilders. Okay? Let some Denzel Washington Book of Eli level foolishness happen, and everyone is dying. Forget the fact that all the resources used up in the planet for the world, much less any one country, to get where it is currently, is used up, and isn't being replaced fast enough for humans to be able to blast themselves back to the Stone Age and get back to 2021. More manual labor jobs or blue-collar-ish jobs are finding it harder and harder to find new young workers. Men or women can learn from men or women. The question is, do they want to? Despite what anyone thinks, the fact is neither men nor women do want to do the traditionally male work. And if you don't believe me, here you go. Right, so this is what I was talking about. I'm not going to play this because unlike any individual person here on YouTube, when it comes to actual organizations, companies up to conglomerates, multinational, I think YouTube might actually take their claims of copyright, whatever, seriously versus individual people saying, oh, don't use my shit to critique me, but let me critique anybody else and then everybody else. So I will not be playing this, but I do remember hearing this. I don't know why I was listening to the classical station, but I was, especially since I wasn't doing Uber at the time. And I heard this, and I came to look for it, found it, and I saved it. Despite rising salaries, the skilled labor shortage is getting worse. Which brings us to this here. Trump says this is something else, and this right here proves that the internet is not forever in all things. Actually, it's not forever in most things. The internet from the 90s pretty much does not exist. You can't find a web page still running from the 90s unless somebody's intentionally keeping it up. It's not like it's just staying up on its own. Anyway, Trump says American workers are hurt by immigration, but after ICE raids this Texas town, they never show up. And when I saved this from way the hell back when, but when you go to it, this comes up. So there's that. Feel free to go watch this. I can tell you right now, I already made an entire video about this kind of thing and why this is a problem. In fact, where is it? Where is it? My channel.
There is a shortage of skilled
Oh no.
throughout the U.S.
Hopefully that doesn't result in a copyright bullshit. Maybe I'll just edit that part out. I think I will edit that part out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Blue collar jobs. Blue collar jobs. Blue collar. Blue collar. Let's see if that's there. Okay, it's not coming up with anything, but it's not too far back. It's not too far back. It's somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. Ah, here it is right here. Blue versus white collar war creates, what is this? Creates student debt monster. Yeah. And this was from over a year ago. So there you go. Feel free to go and watch this as well. Okay. But yeah, simple fact of the matter is the traditional male jobs, even the men today don't want to do them, much less the women. And for whatever anybody wants to say about perceptions and all that stuff of, oh my God, blue collar, lower class, and lesser than, and lesser intelligence, and all that stuff, and whatever, versus lawyer, doctor, IT grandmaster, or whatever the hell. Simple fact of the matter is there is one legitimate claim to the blue collar thing being less desirable, and for me, the only thing for that is automation and robotics. But then again, that's coming for most all jobs, so I guess. But it seems to me that it comes for blue collar a lot faster. Anyway, that's something else. So yeah, there you have it. That is that. And to all a good day or night.